Hey guys, it's Ross, and I want to talk to you today about growing edamame or growing soybeans for edamame, and then the process of how I make edamame, and a little addition there for you guys that love to add different flavors to different things. We're going to add something special to our edamame, but first, I just want to talk really quickly about growing these guys. You plant some seeds, they really they really are so easy to plant. One of the easier seeds to get to germinate. It's almost impossible to fail. You plant a couple seeds. I plant them pretty densely. I've even scattered them, and this whole patch right here just becomes filled with them. And you want them to be close. You want them to be somewhat close together so that they can kind of support themselves. They're pretty. They're not very thick plants. They're not very strong. So if they can lean on top of each other, it actually helps out the process. So I like to plant them even like 3 inches apart. 3 to 4 inches is a great spacing. And this year I didn't even plant them, at each spacing that I wanted. I just scattered the seeds. Like I said, the seeds are so easy to plant. And then in no time at all, I mean, you don't even need great soil. These soybeans will start producing pods, and then the pods will get filled, and from head to toe these plants will be covered. It's a really easy to grow leguminous plant. All legumes, peas, beans, they're just so easy to grow. And something else I find is pretty easy to grow here is nasturtiums. So these nasturtiums, I think what we're going to do is we're going to add some of these nasturtium flowers here, which are edible. They have a nice peppery flavor to them. They also have a nice floral flavor, similar to most flowers. And you can see down in here we have my peach harvest that I harvested today. Plus we have about a few ounces of edamame or soybeans ready to be made into edamame. And we're just going to pick another flower here. We're going to add that in. And maybe we'll pick a leaf to see if we can get some more of that peppery flavor. So let's go inside, guys, and I'll show you how to make the edamame. Alright guys, so we're inside and we're just putting some water on to boil. We added some salt, just some sea salt. And then we have our edamame here, or we have our soybeans. Sorry, I keep calling this edamame. But we're just going to throw this in here like so, and we're just going to put that in there for about 3 to 5 minutes on boil. And I'll turn down the water just a tad, and this stuff will boil, and then we'll add in maybe a couple minutes from now, we'll add in our flowers of the nasturtium and the nasturtium leaf. And at the end, we're just going to put it back in this bowl. We're going to strain the water out, add our sea salt once again, and you know what, we may even add some pepper. So add a little bit of pepper in case the nasturtium flavor doesn't come through the way we want it. But while that's doing its thing, I want to show you guys what else I have going on over here. This is Japanese tea, and I believe this is really is one of the highest quality teas we found when I visited Japan not too long ago. And you can see just how nice the quality is by how green the tea is. So we're going to partner up our edamame with some Japanese tea, and yeah, it should be beautiful. So what we're doing with this is that we're heating the water to about 180 degrees. And there's no thermometer on here, so I'm just kind of doing this by eye. And the way I like to do this is I'll come in here and kind of just watch the steam come off. And if it's at a constant, steady rate, like it is right now, we can pretty much take it off. Or you can let it go a little bit. But if you let your green tea brew at too high of a temperature, the tea will get bitter. So this is a nice little thing though that I like to use, is that we can just put the tea right in the glass there, and then we put this on top, and it can cold brew if we so choose. And then every time we sip, it's coming through the strainer, and none of the the leaves are going through the strainer in the top of the bottle there. So we'll turn this off. We'll pour in our water. Let this brew for a minute. We can let it brew for 2 minutes. We can let it brew for 3 minutes. And the nice thing about a high quality green tea, guys, is that it's actually green. The water will turn green, and this has a lot to do with the oxidation process. So if they pick the tea leaves, guys, and then they harvest them right then and there after they pick them, and then they dry them immediately, the tea leaves don't have a whole lot of time to oxidize, and then therefore the tea will actually stay green and the water will actually be green. And isn't this a beautiful, it's just so beautiful. I love watching tea leaves. It's just so incredible. So we'll go back to the edamame real quick. We'll check on it, see how it's doing. You can see it's still boiling, and I don't know, we got another 2 minutes or so to go. So when all this is done, I'll come back to you. Oh wait, so let's add our nasturtiums now. We have the leaf and the flower. We'll add that in there. Alright, so we should get some peppery edamame, and I'll come back to you guys when it's all done. We'll do a nice taste test, and we can talk about how easy this was. Alright, we got our finished product here. We got the tea, the Japanese green tea that looks just incredible. We also have the edamame, the finished product here, guys. Hopefully you can see that really well. But this stuff is amazing. Oh man. So you can either, pull the soybeans out of the pod, but I like to eat the pod. Not bad, but not picking up much of that nasturtium flavor. Maybe I'll try this with mint next time. Man, it's so good. Anyway, guys, I'm going to continue eating off camera, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Alright? Take care. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this little cooking session with Ross. First time really doing a cooking video, so doesn't get much easier than this. Take care, guys. I'll see you later.